Hey, what's going on? This is Sean A. Plus Ward with Rescue Nation TV. We want to thank you one more time for entering into our studio as we talk about the topics that are hitting the streets today with our youth and young adults throughout the world, throughout the universe. Listen, we got a hot discussion with you today. I'm here with my boy, Hernandez PK. What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just so happy that we about to get this discussion in, man.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic. I believe we talked about it on the radio before, but
Yeah.
you know, it's we're bringing it now to television because it was a hot topic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what Sean is talking about is church folks gone wild. That's right. Not the girls gone wild, but church folks in the church. So, Sean, what have you been seeing?
I've been seeing a lot of things happening. For instance, you know, now these pastors are now getting insurance on their parishioners and also on their members.
Oh,
and
no.
It's like we're turning the church into something.
A money-making scheme, a Ponzi scheme.
Exactly. I haven't read anything in the Bible to where they took insurance out on Jesus took insurance out of the disciples, or the disciples took insurance out on Jesus to get paid from it. You know
Exactly.
And it seems so crazy that this is the things that are going on throughout our church world today, dealing with, you know, your boy, you know, your best friend that you like a lot, you know, the bishop that, you know, got caught with the little boys, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So dealing with that, and then now we're dealing with this situation, you know, with the different churches doing these crazy things. What's going on with our world today? Why are we like just chasing after God and just trying to get money?
It is apparent that there is a need in the church for realness. And you don't see that. You know, you see, like a couple of years ago with the issues with Weeks and Bynum. And, you know, they have the extravagant wedding and then the extravagant divorce.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, where do we learn to become better? Why are we seeing these things and not learning from them? Even more bishops and pastors now than ever are getting divorced and remarried. And we're wondering what's going on. Doesn't the Bible says in order to be a bishop, you have to be the husband of one wife?
The Bible does say that, but I think they missed the part that said you have to be the husband of one wife, then have a girlfriend. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that the fact of a husband of one wife, yes, that's true.
Right, that's the new street version.
But the new street version is you gotta have a girlfriend.
Right.
Or you gotta have a boyfriend.
Right,
You know?
or both.
Or you have to be a pastor that's a homosexual to be a bishop.
Well, oh,
You know,
wow.
they forgetting that type of stuff. So that is not in the Bible. So let's just clear it up. We're getting sarcastic right now.
Right.
Because these are the things that people are following and chasing, and it leaves us in a position to where now we have to correct it.
Absolutely. And you know, this particular pastor you're talking about, what is it, Pastor Manlove,
Right.
From Delaware, and basically he's pretending to help people in danger of losing their homes by promising to give them money for the sale and offering them the chance to basically buy the property back. But instead, they're stripping the homeowner's equity out and collecting fees on top of that.
Yeah, that happened to someone in St. Louis, didn't it?
Yeah, it actually did. Now, someone that I know put up their house for a church and ended up losing it. So where is this coming in? You know, I'm wholeheartedly agreeing with give to the church, give it till it hurts. I believe in that. But if I'm giving to somebody so they can drive a Cadillac, I mean...
Well, no, but the Bible says that you give your tithes and offerings.
Exactly.
You know, you give your tithes and offerings. It didn't say about my insurance, my 401k. It didn't say nothing like that. Now, I can turn it into an offering.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? I can turn it to an offering, but now you're forcing me to do that, and that's crazy.
Right.
And I feel that, you know, now we have to be more educated to know exactly what's going on. You are, now listen, you are looking at us today, you are held accountable now because you know. You know that some of these things, these are things that are just going wild in the church. Now, if you have an agreement that God led it upon you to do that, I don't have a problem with it. But just for it to be a rule,
Right.
you know, that's crazy.
Exactly.
You know, like you're dealing with the old boy who's taking off life insurance. The AIG life insurance company is suing Bishop Atkin Phillips, accusing him of defrauding the company of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, the other day, somebody approached me and said that we shouldn't mention people's names. Now, the thing is that when you're dealing with people that are not living right, now, you call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's right.
Now, there is the righteous judge that you can have. But this is also the thing, too, that we're mentioning names that is documents that you can go to the internet
Right. That's
and look up yourself.
common knowledge.
The information we have here on our iPads are information that we looked up on the internet.
Exactly.
So, Bishop Phillips, you're on the internet.
Right.
For stealing life insurance.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm
it
saying?
says he falsified paperwork and then fraudulently claimed the non-members had been enrolled in ACU at the time of their death.
I think that's church folks going wild.
That's pretty wild to me. I don't know.
Now I do understand that it would be nice that I did hear that in the Catholic Church that they do have things like that set up, but most of that money goes towards the church.
Right.
Which that is understandable. If you don't have no money to leave to your family, nothing like that, you don't have your assets to leave to your family, but you want to leave it to the church, I'm cool with that. Absolutely. But don't force me or place me in a position to where I feel guilty to have to do this.
Absolutely. I just saw a video recently, Doc, where a pastor was, basically admonishing people for money, and then in a basic, I guess, set up scene, a lady came up and just gave him a stack of money this big.
Really?
And then everybody started jumping and shouting like that was the greatest thing on earth, and I'm just like, I'm not too sure about that. It's great to give, but shouldn't there be some kind of humility with it? Shouldn't it be, it talks about giving alms in secret, and a lot of people are just writing these big old checks and wanting to get big accolades, getting the name on the church building or things like that.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's just like with church folks going wild, that people are allowing themselves to be commercialized.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying. The fact that, okay, I think, just because I'm giving more money, that gives me a bigger crown in heaven.
Right.
That's not true.
It's exactly not
That's
true.
not true. It's off of my lifestyle,
right,
how I live, how I conduct myself. Am I living a holy life unto God, or it's not my works.
Exactly, and it's a condition of the heart, because everything that's in your heart actually comes out in your speak, in your walk, in your talk, and how you give. So if you're giving to get, then I don't think God honors that.
Yeah, exactly. I think we got the whole reaping and sowing thing just. We have gone too far with it.
Wow, now we're getting into the prosperity messages.
Right. The reaping and sowing thing, we have gone too far with it. Yes, you're supposed to give, and I believe in that.
Oh yeah.
I don't knock that. You're supposed to give, but your main thing is not, I'm just going to give to receive.
Right. Right.
It's better to give than to receive. That's what they say. True enough. But the thing is, my whole mindset is not, I'm giving this so I can receive something from God.
Right.
No, my mindset is that I'm giving this because God placed it up on my heart to be a blessing to the church. Now, if God decides to bless me because of the seed I sowed, hallelujah, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. Hallelujah. But my whole thing is not, hey, I'm going to give you this iPad because, listen, I want you to give me a Bentley later.
Right.
No,
right.
My whole heart intentions is wrong. But I should be like, I'm giving because God told me to give, and I want to see you do good and have.
Right.
And then I should be happy enough the fact that I can walk away knowing that I helped you.
Exactly. And we have it now to the point where we're getting taught so much about giving and how much to give and all of this stuff. We should be beyond this point by now. But we're still telling people, in order to get something from God, you've got to give this thing first. And I don't necessarily find the teaching wrong. It's the heart behind it, because we're actually pushing people to do more giving than they actually can. Hey, if you give your last $100 to God, then He's going to give you all the desires of your heart. And these things are going out on television, radio, internet, any kind of medium that you want to see.
Now, my thing is that what you're saying that is the fact that if I give it, now God has to place it up on my heart to give.
Exactly.
Now my faith has to connect to that seed for me to receive. But the thing is that I should not be in a place to where I'm about to lose my home.
Exactly.
I'm about to lose my home because this person said, hey, I'm give me the seed. I know you need your diabetes medicine. You know what I'm saying? I know you need it. But that last $10 you're going to spend on your diabetes medicine,
trust in God.
You know what I'm saying? Kill yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, God has given us what is the senses and the wisdom to know that, listen, okay, God may have gave me this last $10 but I'm giving a gift away to somebody else. So it's church folks going wild.
It is. And it's basically for lack of knowledge. We perish for lack of knowledge. Folks aren't going into their Bibles. Folks aren't searching for themselves. They'd rather hear it from somebody else. So our portion is, we don't want to bash everything, but we're just telling you, we're bringing these things out to the forefront because we want you to make intelligent decisions. And not just intelligent decisions, but spirit-led decisions. Have it led by the word. God is not a God of disorder, but apparently we got a lot of disorder going on in the church.
Yeah, we do. The prime example is this, that look at the secular artists.
Oh yeah.
Now you brought up something. Church folks going wild.
Yeah.
The BET Awards just went off.
Dude.
The BET Awards just went off, right?
Yes, sir.
Now on Facebook, how many Christians was posting things about the BET Awards?
Pretty much every Christian.
Now explain what the BET Awards is.
A yearly television program where they feature all of the black artists that are, or African American artists that are featured on BET, and they give them awards and accolades and all that great stuff. And I actually stopped watching the show a couple of years ago because it's just a horrible.
A couple of years ago.
Oh yes, sir.
So a couple of years ago, let's be transparent here.
Yes, sir.
Where were you at a couple of years ago?
Oh, dude, I was in a horrible place a couple of years ago.
No, but I'm saying, where were you at though spiritually a couple of years ago? Were you in church, out of church?
I was in and out.
In and out.
Right. And basically, that it was because of that. Actually, seeing the stuff that I was seeing, it was like there's something wrong. There's no correlation between what I'm looking at.
So testify.
Absolutely. Well, and I've told you before, I watched Truth Behind Hip Hop, and it changed my life. And at the time that I was viewing this, there was a particular young lady that was ministering out in California. Her name is Blair Wingo, Passion for Christ Ministries. And she posted a video where she basically went out to the BET Awards in 2007 and interviewed people on the street. And she interviewed this one guy who was like, yeah, I love Jeezy, I love 50 Cent and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, okay, and you know, kind of asked him questions about that. And then she switched it up on him. She was like, well, are you a Christian? And he was like, oh, yeah, I love the Lord, yeah, I'm a Christian. So why are you here supporting, you know, a guy like 50 Cent that has lyrics like such and such and such a thing, or Young Jeezy that basically says in a song that he's gonna fry in hell? Right. I mean, why are you doing this? And the guy was kind of stuck. And it was the same position I was in. I just recently watched it with my wife last night, and I still feel that conviction. Because there are things in our life that we have to cut off every day. But yeah, about 2006, 2007, I stopped watching the BET Awards because it was, or 2008 rather, because it was just a horrible show, number one, and what they promote is just not what God honors.
Yeah.
And then how they put the gospel music, you know, as a footnote, when basically gospel programming built BET from the ground up, you know, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's crazy because now you have Christian artists performing with secular artists.
Yeah.
You know, on our CDs and stuff, and then so I believe that we're supposed to be in the world, but not be of the world.
Yes, sir.
And then the thing is that now we're straddling the fence. I'm totally against Christian artists performing with secular artists.
I've become against that as well.
Understand? Because we supposed to carry this word. Now, how can you carry this word in an impure body?
Exactly.
Or when your hands are dirty?
That's right. You said on the radio show, how can light have fellowship with darkness?
Yeah, how can it? How can light have fellowship with darkness? And that's my biggest problem there. You know, it's like, okay, they don't ask us to come and sing on their stuff.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And we're so into compromising just to get on the platform that they are. Because maybe if I'm on this higher platform, because apparently being a Christian is a lower platform, then I can get all of these fans, I can get all of these new people to basically sell my Christianity to.
Right. It's a popular gospel artist that everybody know. He's on tour with a unsaved comedian, and who people feel that this comedian is supposed to be a pastor. And
we've been told this.
Right, we've been told this. This comedian is supposed to be a pastor. Now, the problem I have this individual said that gospel music sales are low. They said gospel music sales are low because now an unsaved person feels that they don't have to purchase gospel music anymore because, you know what I'm saying, it's the same music that they're trying to get away from.
Right, it's no different.
Some people, they bought gospel music so they can at least feel like they have a connection with church.
Right.
But how can they have a connection with church when they basically listen to the same stuff that is on the secular side?
Oh yeah. Have you noticed now that we're all doing the vocoder now? I mean, they started off in the world, now everybody
want to be
Roger Zapp. Vocoder.
Everybody want to be I want to be what's that?
Zapp and Roger.
Man, listen, we're gonna take a break real quick, man, and
yeah, we gotta get back into this because there's a lot of stuff still left to talk about. Church folks gone wild. Rescue Nation. We'll see you in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, if you love him, lift your hands and wave them in his presence.
And that's another thing, man. Another topic I want to talk about is we talk on the radio.
Yeah.
Right, and then, you know, we had our little spat about it because we had the Rhema Dance Ministries on.
Right.
You know, which is a praise dancing ministry.
Right.
So, you know, we was at an event, then we saw certain people doing the electric slide. So we got into this whole thing about dance. I saw that you encouraged them, but you didn't do the electric slide. Why was that?
Dude, number one, I can't dance.
That's a lie.
Number two, I try to dance, but I don't. And number two, it just didn't feel right doing that where I was at.
Why not?
It wasn't unto the Lord. A dance like that is not unto the Lord. And just like you were talking about on the radio, it's what the dance represents.
Right.
If you're doing the foxtrot, then that's the foxtrot. But if you're doing
what is the foxtrot?
I mean, come on,
80 years old, dog.
Man, come on, ballroom dances. Our folks out there know ballroom dances.
Oh, foxtrot. Okay.
Right, foxtrot, the waltz, all that kind of good stuff.
Who does that? Come on,
Rescue Nation apparently does not.
All right.
We don't do that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But what we also don't do is like the lambada, the dirty dancing, and all this kind of stuff. And depending on what you're doing, it denotes a spirit. And I think what I was seeing there was just the spirit of let's have lawless fun. And I kind of jokingly encouraged him, but at the same time, in my spirit, I was like, nah, they ain't gonna catch me in the house of the Lord.
So basically, he threw the rock and hit his hand.
Pretty much. Hey, I did it freely. I need prayer.
True. Matter of fact, go to our Facebook page right now.
I was just gonna say that.
Rescue. Facebook is on our Rescue Nation, and comment on this, and then put a prayer request in for Hernandez.
Right.
And, PK.
It's prayer@rescuedonline.com.
That's
Pray
right.
for me.
Email us at prayer@rescuedonline.com. But also the thing is that now churches are really allowing this thing to happen, like dancing.
They're having actual dances, Sadie Hawkins, and all those kind of dances.
I went to one event to where it was I forget, it was about a man who, basically it was auctioned off a man.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What is it? Boaz.
Yeah.
Boaz. It was
right. And why do we come up with Christian names for stuff that the world does?
Right. So the thing is, when we was there, they was actually dancing to secular music.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
I mean, real dancing. Not. I'm saying, even the pastor was.
But, and again, I grew up in, and we all know my story. I grew up in a Baptist denomination.
Yeah.
And it was...
He's very Baptist.
Yeah. And
well, used to be.
Used to be. And it was real liberal. It was very liberal.
Shouts out to the Baptists.
Exactly. And you weren't taught those things. You were taught, those Pentecostals and Church of God of Christ, they too holy. That's too much. But as I started to get older and I started to see that, even the smallest thing can be a hindrance to somebody else. So, that's one of the reasons that I don't encourage dancing in church, and especially the type of dancing we're doing. We just want to do things that the world does in church, and I just don't see any point or reason for it.
I don't. My thing is this: that if we went out into the street and we did our SOS, which we'll be doing next week, Tuesday. So tune in. We got a new thing called SOS and Pick Up the Week that we are doing now. But if you would check this out and go into the street and talk to some people that don't have a relationship with God or don't go to church, I bet they will have a problem with seeing church folks do what they do.
Yeah, church folks on an electric slide. It's like, if I want to see the electric slide, I can go to the club. Why do I got to go to the church to see it?
Why do I have to be saved? Why do I have to be saved to be separated when I could just do the same thing in the world that you all are doing in church, or vice versa? You get what I'm saying? So what's the use of me saying, okay, well, we witness to people and say, and this is not to the unsaved that we're talking to, this is to you pastors and your leaders and you saints that feel that it's okay. Now, my problem is that why would I come to Christ after you witness to me, after I done seen you in a club kicking it?
You're right.
How are you going to witness to me? That's like you saying, listen, don't steal, don't steal, don't fight, but you got an attitude with me, you stealing, but you telling me not to do it.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the problem. Most people say, well, do as I say and not as I do.
Right. And we've got that really bad now, because those that are in leadership are 9 times out of 10 the ones that we're catching doing this stuff, and then they come into the church and stand in the pulpit and justify. And that's one thing that is really running rampant. Church gone wild. Justification. We're justifying sin. We're justifying our place in sin. We're justifying not judging sin.
We should have like a Rescue Nation People's Court.
Oh yeah,
a spiritual court. Like or we should have like a topic for the, like, okay, like we got SOS coming up pretty soon, and we got
Save Our Souls.
Pick Up the Day. Yeah, Save Our Souls and Pick Up the Day.
Yes, sir.
We should have preachers that should go to spiritual jail.
Wow. With a Judge Wapner standing up there like, you guilty.
Exactly.
Hellbound.
Eddie Long, you'll be the first to go.
Oh, I didn't say it. He said it this time, but I totally agree. But anyway, we're moving on.
Man, that's crazy. But straight up though, let you slide at church. I don't agree with it. But I got one more church going wild that's gonna mess you up.
What's that, man?
Church folks going wild. I'm gonna name a couple.
Uh-oh.
B Slade.
Oh, Beast.
Church boy going wild. Cross dressing.
Yeah, he is coming out in interviews now with the lipstick and the masks on his shoulder, and it's like.
Matter of fact, while we're talking, why don't y'all put his picture up right now, Brian? Just put his picture up right now of B Slade. Just check this out. He has his hair now. He has weave in his head now. He's wearing makeup. Now, can you split up the screen to where you're showing him as how he used to be?
Right, in the suit.
Show how he used to be in the suit and everything. Now show the other side. You get what I'm saying? On the left side, he's one way. Then on the right side, he looked like a girl.
Exactly.
Church folks going wild.
And then not only that, but while he was in the suit, he was still living that other lifestyle. Creating music that we all love. We were talking with one of our new rescue members. Loves that song, Lord Make Me Over. And we had to actually explain to him, look at the song. He was talking about what he was going through at the time.
You know, we're experiencing this type of stuff, these homosexuals. And also, I mean, it's crazy that we saw Tone one way. Now he's a whole different way. And then he's still... like the convention you talked about on the radio.
Right. They got a convention in August, and it's about gays in the ministry.
That's crazy.
And now we don't care anymore. And that they just passed a homosexual marriage in New York, the largest state in the union.
But it is still our job to love him, though.
It is. But I think it's our job, just as much of our job, to restore him to a place of holiness. And by maybe putting on some pressure and saying, hey, you know, maybe I shouldn't support you for a while until, you know, God gives me a release on that.
Right. All that water can't mix.
Exactly.
So, I mean, church folks going wild. I say to you all that you all need to make sure that you find a leader that knows how to lead and won't compromise the gospel, and that will correct you when you're wrong.
Yeah, that's what a good leader does.
Exactly. You won't be the one going wild.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and like we talk on the radio show, I don't see no gay tigers. I don't see any, you know, the big cats of the jungle.
That's true.
I don't see them going around meow. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that going on. You know
putting on tutus and stuff like that. But of course, on the homosexual agenda side, there's the manatee, and there's the praying mantis that changes sex, and all this kind of crazy stuff. And it's
the
like,
praying mantis changes sex.
Dude, I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I'm just saying, you've got Wikipedia. Go ahead and look it up. Homosexual animals. But we've got folks that are justifying anything.
Hey, check this out, man. You know, we're about at the end of our show.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate this. We got to do a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
But the good thing, why don't we step into we have a new thing that we're about to do.
That's right, the SOS report.
Right, the SOS report.
Yeah, and we're going to actually be going out on the streets. It's called Save Our Souls report. We're going to go out in the street and talk to saved, unsaved, whoever, and kind of see what's going on with them and what their soul condition is and what Rescue Nation can possibly do to help. So, you know, you see us out in the street, you see the rescue shirts or the Holy Ghost shirts.
Right. What's coming out with the microphones?
Hey, don't be scared. Don't run.
But before we go, we want y'all to check out this pick of the week. We got a new thing called Rescue Nation Pick of the Week. And we're talking, our pick of the week this week is Chris and Kyle and True Spirit.
Oh, come on, let's worship. I love you, Lord, yes, I do. Oh, come on, if you love him, lift your hands and wave them in his presence. For loving me. Oh, there's no one. Say there's no yeah.
Man, that was a good video, man.
Man, that's great. And you got to support St. Louis artists for sure, because we've got some great artists in our area.
Yeah, we do. I liked how they was in the field, and Chris and Cal was directing and stuff, man. That was a wonderful video, man.
Wonderful video. They got some great singers in there.
They do. Awesome singers. Listen, man, we're going to have a pick of the week, and also, listen, why don't you Facebook us and tell us your pick of the week? We'll see you next week, and we love you, and you be blessed.